Hello everyone, today we're having another first look. We're going to try out the upcoming multi-weapon shooter module for Game Creator made by Lieutenant Cat Games. Before we start, I would like to thank all of my Patreon supporters for the amazing support. Now before we start, I would like to point out that several things are still subject to change. This is a look at the first release, but some of the animations are still going to be changed, so keep that in mind. It should be published to the store really soon, so don't expect to wait all too long. Now, the actual premise of this module is allowing dual weapons at the same time, like the name suggests. So you can dual wield pistols, you can dual wield shotguns, even Tommy guns if you want. Yes, that also means multiple new weapons, which is really cool as well. Other than the fact that you basically have multiple weapons, you can actually control them separately. So you don't have to do this, I just want to be absolutely clear about that, but you can, which is absolutely awesome. So let's get started, and I'll pick up these guns, pick up some ammo, and let's try this out. So right now I can control both at once. So I'll shoot the right one first and then shoot the left one. And yeah, I mean, this is, honestly really cool. The ability to control both separately. Yes, you can control both at once, if you don't want that, obviously. But the fact that you can do this is honestly awesome. Now there's multiple ammo types as well, so if you look in the upper right corner, you will see armor piercing bullets. We can reload those as well, and basically, use those. And that's the thing, you can use multiples. Right now it's just normal bullets or the piercing ones, but you can add multiple. And I think this is the really cool thing. It allows for a lot of things that the shooter module does by default, but in an extended version, which is honestly really awesome. So the dual wielding is not limited by default to anything. Obviously, with everything you set up, you can limit this yourself, so you wouldn't have situations like this where you're basically going to dual wield a sniper and a revolver, which makes zero sense. But the fact that you can is really nice, because basically you're not limited to anything. So if you're gonna come up with your own custom weapons, or you just want to dual wield 2 shotguns, you can. And yeah, that's honestly really cool. I actually really like that. So that's that's something that's really cool. It's really nice in that sense that there's no limit to that. I really do like that. Now you can holster everything individually as well, and only keep the one, obviously. So that's pretty nice. Now let's only pick up the one in this case. It's a Tommy gun. Yes, you can dual wield it as well, but dual wielding Tommy guns, I mean, unless your character literally is John Rambo, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. And yeah, I mean, that's a Tommy gun. So automatic rifles, shotguns, yeah, this is really cool. Oh, some of the animations definitely not ready yet. But yeah, like I said, the animations are still subject to change before it will actually hit the store. So that's something to keep in mind. And obviously you can just use your own, which I think most people will do anyway. Now the bow is still in there. Obviously the bow is, I mean, it's a bow. I don't know what else to say. No, you cannot dual wield bows by default. That's just not an option. Would be absolutely ridiculous as well if that were possible. But I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, with the bow it's the same. Yeah, you can use multiple ammo types, use multiple at the same time. So yeah, that's really nice. I'm going to switch back to the revolvers, because makes more sense dual wielding. It's more fun dual wielding pistols, which is most of the time the case. So yeah, really nice here. And another really interesting change, which is something that I'm really happy to see, is that now when you're using a grenade, you no longer have to switch between between weapons. You know, just like, well, most shooters, using a grenade is something you can just do by default without having to switch. So really like that. Now I did want to test out if this still worked with the combat module, and luckily it does. So nothing has changed there. So yeah, really nice. Still all compatible. So pretty cool. Now let's have a look at how all of this actually functions. So this is the default scene. I added a couple of things, like the character, etc. So just ignore that. But basically we have our player, and in this case it's just a prefab, and I added the targeted to test out something. But the real big difference is that there are now two new components. So we have dual player shooter, and you don't need to have the regular in there anymore. You only need to use this one. It's based on the regular one, obviously, so you're still dependent on the shooter module, but you don't need to use that component on the player anymore. So we have the dual shooter component, and there's a couple of things we can set here. So masks, animations, things like that, which is really nice. And we have our ammo clips. Now the ammo clips is a bit more elaborate. So we have our bullets, we have our armor piercing bullets, and that's the thing you can set. So you can set up a lot of different ammo types. You don't need to. So for example, for the bow, you noticed for the sniper, I think, or the Tommy gun, can't remember which one it was, it only had the one. Yeah, that was the Tommy gun. So no different ammo types other than that, but you can create that yourself. So yeah, that's it for the components. Now when it comes to action, so I'm just going to create an empty here and just add some actions to it. We have a couple of new actions as well. So let me go to multi-weapon shooter. So we have the dual state, which is used to wield both. We have the dual shooter draw, and here you can select which hand are we drawing. So are we drawing right, left, are we drawing, or are we switching? You can, like I mentioned, you can select that it only single wields a gun. So just like the bow was by default set, you could do the same with the Tommy gun, for example, or the sniper, which is something I would do. We have a couple of options here, so secondary ammo, normal ammo, clip numbers, and override animations. Let's remove this one as well. This is the same for holster. I mean, I'm not going to going to go over that. And then we have change weapon stage, which is something that is used, for example, with the actual weapons themselves. So if we inspect, where's our bow, for example? I know there was a steel arrow here. So one of the different types. So on charging, this is where we use the change weapon state, for example. So we'd alter the animations, so you can customize it completely to your own liking. So yeah, really cool. I wanted to go over this and obviously show a bit more than just a quick demo. I wanted to show how it actually functions. As you can see, it's really easy to set up. Not a lot has changed. You're actually just replacing some of the default components with new ones, and you're just using different actions than before. but it all functions pretty much the same, but it allows for a lot more. So honestly, really cool. So thanks to Lieutenant Cat Games for already sharing this in advance. I really appreciate it. It allowed me to show this all to you in advance as well, which is really cool. He's working on some new updates as well, which will allow for hip firing, for example, one of the things that was missing as well. So I am really looking forward to see that in action myself. So hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.